So why don't you talk about like what opportunity did you see in like real estate sales, like being a real estate agent? What caused you to step away from PT and then decide that you want to do a career in real estate sales?
Well, I saw this opportunity in that I could learn from my older brother and be able to work with him. When I did the PT stuff, like it was your typical 9 to 5, and any job, it just sucks. Like, and everyone couldn't wait to clock out Friday, and no one wants to go back into work on Monday. And I was like, this is terrible. I'm not doing this. So I remember the exact day. I said, Francis, I'm gonna do. Well, he offered to do it. I was like, oh, whatever. I already like pretty set on school, and it was like.
And my thought is like, I don't give a fuck whether you do it or not. Like, I'm gonna be successful regardless of what you're doing. So.
But it's the best decision I've ever made. Like, there's nothing more than being, the boss. Like, he's my older brother, but like, he doesn't be like, oh, you gotta go in the office to this. He hasn't time for that. Even in the beginning, it was not worth his time. Like, I had asked him questions. Oh, this is a funny story. I would be like, hey, Francis, like, how do I do a showing? Or I had a question, and he's in the office writing a check. And he's like, he looks at me dead in the eyes. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, dude, send me an email, send me a Google Calendar invite, and then maybe I'll get back to you. He's
and the reason why is because like Jerome, when he first got started in the business, he was like really lazy, and he'd like be waking up like super late in the morning, and he never took himself seriously. Like, he didn't take the business seriously. So for me, like, why would I take him seriously if he's not taking himself seriously? So when Jerome started actually treating his business like a business, that's when I actually started to help him, because I looked at Jerome when he first started. It took him like, I don't know, like 6 months to get his real estate license, which I thought was a joke because I got it in 2.5 weeks. So like I work with, like everyone that's super serious, like that's who I spend my time and energy on. So why don't you talk about like the struggles of your first 18 months of like your first 18 months in the business, like what was really difficult. Talk about like what, like if you almost quit, like talk about that.
So the struggle is just figuring out like how to get business. In the beginning, again, we're young. I was like 23. I didn't know anyone. None of my friends are looking to buy, sell, invest anytime soon. And also the hardest thing was that, again, the global pandemic just killed all my momentum. Like, I had buyers that were like, all right, we're ready to tour house, and then boom, laid off. And even then from there, it was like, they couldn't even like rent. Like, it was illegal to show new construction vacant houses during the shutdown. And it's like, what was I supposed to do? I was doing it for a little bit, but then I heard that other realtors were snitching on other realtors and losing their license. So I was like, all right.
I don't think anyone lost their license, but
I heard about that.
Okay, right, whatever.
So, I was on survival mode for quite some time. I was just,
What were you doing to make money to go fund? I think you were Ubering at one point.
Yeah, and then I started my golf little side hustle. I was like, hey, like, what am I good at? And I was like, started giving golf lessons. Like, well, I was doing it for free in my Delaware facility, and some guy was like, dude, I would literally pay you. And I was like, all right, well, there's this driving range right next to me, like in Burrytown, Strawberry Green driving range. I actually do that all the time now, but it was the side hustle that has grown into like a pretty good way for me to network. Like, if you're in the real estate business, like, you'd love to golf, and like Francis sends me some of his like, oh, give this attorney a golf lesson.
Yeah, some of my VIP clients will be like, hey, like, get a lesson with Jerome, and then like I'll just pay for it, because like some of my clients, like, I like to get back to my clients that like give me opportunities too. So.
Right.
But throughout the pandemic, I stuck to like pretty much only rentals. Again, that's how I was surviving, and again, it was just pure survival mode. But now I'm at the point where like those renters are now ready to buy, and since I did such a great job with them, it was like there's even people that I didn't even get to work with, but they're like, we'll be in touch, like, you were phenomenal, or I met them at open house, and now again the conversation is starting to happen, which is nice. But it took like 2.5 years, but I'm at that point now, and some of my friends are looking to buy, sell, invest soon. You post something, like, I can give you a good example. One of my buddies from San Diego just bought a house.
Yeah, so how did you convince him to buy a house? Like, how did you get that client?
Yeah, so this is my buddy Sasha. He's 1 year younger than me. He lives in San Diego now. We went to University of Delaware together. He's like, he visited me a few months ago in Philly, and he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll buy a house off you. I was like, no, that's bullshit, because this guy's, he's such a bullshitter. That's all cap. And then, you know, I was like, yo, you live in San Diego. For you to be an investment property, you're gonna pay $15,000. I know what you have, like, in the bank, and it's like not gonna work. But somehow my lender said, hey, he's gonna work remotely and do this as a primary residence. So he goes from paying 15% down to 3% down, and next thing you know, I'm sending him stuff, and we closed in 30 days. I'm about to get the tenants signed this week. Very excited. And then I posted that on like LinkedIn, Facebook, everything, and that one sale turns into like 10 referrals, like literally 10. So very exciting. I'm at the point now where it's starting to be referral based, and I'm a year, 2.5.
Talk about your first house. Why? What made you decide, you want to buy that property?
Catch reviews?
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me to buy it. Basically, if he says to buy something, you do it. Like, he's just so knowledgeable with investments. I don't even second guess it. Like, our original plan was to buy a house in Fishtown, and then what happened there is like, hey, we should go in on this Bitcoin mining stuff. And I was like, I don't know anything about Bitcoin, but if he's telling me to do it, I just shut the fuck up and write the check.
How is that big? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
The Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Where it's like you buy the equipment and it's literally passive income. Like, I think per day we're mining 0.0054 Bitcoin, which is at the current rate, at what's that, 40,000 bucks?
I don't.
So like
Basically, between all our equipment, the two of us, we're mining like a little less than like 0.6 Bitcoin a month, and it's like completely passive. But we have like 40 S19J machines, and it's like I just pay a company to manage it. It's just like the way that I look at it is, with this investment, I'm making like a 50 to 60% return on my money, and I get to write off like all of the equipment I buy is 100% depreciation year one. So last year I was actually able to reduce my like ordinary income by like 200 grand because I get to write it all off year one, and
pay
also
federal income tax in me.
makes me smart.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, the whole write-offs thing is, he's taught me everything, but that's something they don't teach you in school. But
Yeah.
it's very important.
Yeah, even with my accountant, and I think that's the benefit of having friends who, like Derek, or like just my friends that do a lot better than me. You're always learning new things. So there's so many like concepts and strategies and things that even before this, like I went in the cold plunge pool, like a 40-degree plunge pool for like 5 minutes, and I'm doing that 3 times a week, and it's like I got my blood test like before, and it's like, wow, like your immune system's like crazy good. Like I can tell you barely get sick, and it's like that. Like whoever ran the blood test could see that it's actually like scientifically like my immune system's strong. So like all the stuff that I'm doing, the strategies that I'm implementing for my friends are just making me better. So yeah.
Yeah, but the house I'm buying it's got 1 car parking just around the corner from my current house, but it's pre-construction. It won't be done until July 15th, which probably means November.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think the big thing is it's 50. I think it's like 60 grand below market. So it's a 10% discount, which like in this market, most of the single family homes that you're buying are within like 98 to 99% of list. So I think as long as you can snag something for a discount compared to market, it's a good buy, and you're gonna put like 5% down on it. So
yeah, I'm gonna pay like all together like 2% down. I think I'm paying 5%, 3% seller's assist. My commission is 2.5%, so that takes that off, and then the seller's gonna pay like transfer tax. So I think.
Yeah, but that was negotiated into that's just the way that we structure like we can structure the deal a certain way to come out of pocket the least amount of money for the